What we're here to talk to you guys today about is how to make the most of Facebook to grow your business. And I have the guru, Carisha Gamble with Convey Social online with me live and maybe even in like double feedback loop. I'm not sure what's happening here, but we'll get it straightened out. Carisha, you want to go ahead and tell a little bit about yourself, please?
Yes, absolutely. Hello, everyone. So my name is Carisha Gamble, and I am the CEO of Convey Social. We are a marketing and public relations firm. We are storytellers, social media wizards, marketing gurus, visionaries, and community builders. And we work primarily with nonprofit organizations and small businesses to help you be able to share your brand through digital marketing and traditional public relations.
I want to know as a business owner, why should I even bother with social media, especially if I don't know a lot about it?
So, social media is really important, and especially we really learned this a lot during the pandemic on how social media has really helped to increase businesses' appearance on, through the various platforms due to, social distancing and the closing of, the world at the time. We only could rely on communicating through social media platforms, and so for me, I always tell my clients that, a lot of the times the wave of the future of a lot of the traditional marketing has kind of shifted a little bit to now social media is the way that everyone communicates with one another and how brands really show themselves through their organizations.
I agree. How do I sell things on Facebook though? I understand sharing and conversating. How do I sell things on Facebook?
Yes. So, how you do that is really the key thing that you need to think about is actually figuring out a way to connect your product or service to your page, right? And so Instagram and Facebook is really helpful with that. They actually allow you to do, like Instagram, for example, allows you to do what we call Instagram shopping. So you can take a picture of your product, right? And you can actually put a tag to it that identifies the name of the product as well as the pricing of it. And you will be able to actually sell that directly from Instagram and or Facebook and they can go to your website. A consumer can go to your website and actually view that product, see reviews about it, and or just move forward and actually purchase it through your Shopify account. This has actually been a trend, especially in 2020, that actually helped a lot of businesses stay afloat because of the fact that people couldn't go inside of a brick and mortar. People really looked to social media to see that this was something that they would be able to purchase a product. The other thing I would say is really also a huge trend that is continuing on in 2021 is really the influencer piece. So really having influencers talking about your brand or your product or service. So, and I'm not talking about the traditional influencers like celebrities, right? We're talking about those individuals who are who are people who are purchasing your products on a regular basis, that love your product, who rave about it, who talk about it on social media, or even those bloggers who you may know locally within your city or town that would be able to come in and help to really show something about your product that has helped them, as well as even showing them even like a new product that you're trying to release. You could even give them kind of like an exclusive look at your product or service, and they will be able to really show how this has helped them in their personal lives. And in addition to with that, really showing about one of the trends in 2020 that was really a big one too, was really showing how your brand can inspire someone, right? Because we went through a lot last year. And I know I'm saying a lot about, the pandemic last year, but it is really has transformed social media in so many ways. And with things that have happened and the closures and people having to be, disconnected from their families and their friends, they're really looking for that inspiration and they're wanting to have that connection with a product or service and or brand. And so being able to tell the story on why this product is so, would be helpful to someone, and or why your service would be good to someone, really will be able to also help you with growing your brand on social media as well.
Do you think a business owner can sell on social media exclusively and not have a website or other online tools?
So no, and I actually tell my clients this all the time. Social media is a extension to your business and to your website. It should not be your end all be all, because you want someone to leave social media and actually go to your website and or go to your brick and mortar. So I feel like social media is something that you can utilize and is a tool, but really you want that website to be the platform that helps people to continue to stay engaged with your product or service. You want them to be able to know that, okay, if, say for example, you only highlight certain amount of products or services on social media, but not all of your products, right? Because I do believe that there is something to wanting to only do exclusive things on social media so that you can get someone to go to your website. And with that, then you want your website to be able to work for you, right? So that is like the extension, that's also an additional extension of your business. So you want your catalog on your website. You want more information about you as the business owner. You also want more information about just what was the inspiration about building your business. You want all of that located on your website. And you want that, you also need that too, because that is also an additional way for you to really research and see where are people coming from, right? So you're able to, on your website, be able to see like, okay, I have people, shopping for my product or service, in Chicago or New York, if you're, a business owner in Ohio, or I have, people shopping from overseas even, you can see those things on more through your website than you can through social media. Unless you have, and again, like I mentioned, you can have Shopify to connect. So you have an e-commerce option that can connect your website and your social media together, and they can work hand in hand. And that's where the e-commerce can actually also pull in that information from your social media to see, okay, we saw that Judy found you on Instagram. She then clicked on this product and wanted to learn more, that then she went to your website to then see if there were other options of colors or if there were other options of, that product. And she was able to purchase X amount of that product. That's all you can see in your e-commerce shop. And so I really feel like it's really important to set up those tools to all work with each other and speak to each other as well.
I love the fact that you talked about the distinction for each one. And I do want to get into the analytics side of it. But before we jump there, I want to go into what are some of the best platforms that an entrepreneur should be able to use to market their message or market their service or their product?
So great question. It really all depends on who your target audience is, right? And so with social media, there's not just one that would be better than the other. It all depends on, the season of your business. So it depends on, who you are marketing to. It also depends on, if you are looking to gain insight from a different target audience. So use an example. So say, for example, you sell a product where your product is more so geared towards business professionals, right? And so you've always done that. That's always been something, and you've used, Facebook as your means of communicating to those business professionals. But now you're thinking, you know what? I want to pivot a little bit. I want to see how maybe we can attract more younger professionals or maybe even college students to utilize my product or service. And so now you're like, okay, maybe Facebook is not the appropriate channel, right? Maybe I need to look at maybe TikTok. And TikTok is a definite growing platform, especially in 2020 and 2021. It is still a trending, trending, social media tool that people are using, especially young professionals and younger kids. So like high schoolers, college students. And so it's like, okay, do I now need to look at maybe looking at, getting a TikTok account and maybe using, creating those videos on TikTok, but I can also translate those videos onto Facebook as well. Or even if you're like, I've never used LinkedIn before, maybe there might be another avenue for you to utilize LinkedIn if you're trying to connect more in the market of, okay, I want to be a vendor at a conference, or I want to sponsor a, event or a workshop. LinkedIn is that avenue for more of the professionals and more of that kind of conference and meeting type of collaboration. And so maybe you want to tap into that. Or maybe you're looking at, okay, how can I maybe grow on doing maybe some live Facebook or live IGTV? So, Instagram, we know, is going to always be kind of the number one platform, right? And so Instagram is really great with visuals, with video visuals, as well as photo visuals. And so do you want to start doing more lives and you want to connect with more people? And you know that Instagram is going to be kind of that melting pot for both, an older crowd, more business professionals, and for the younger professionals. So maybe you want to explore Instagram. So again, I go back to your original question. It really all depends. And I always tell my clients too, you do not have to attack all the social media platforms at once. So you don't have to say, okay, I'm going to get a Facebook account, an Instagram account, a LinkedIn account, a Twitter account, as well as a TikTok account. And then I'm going to also explore some other mediums, right? Pick the ones that one, that you can handle, that you feel that you can manage. And if you can't manage, shameless plug, contact me and let's see how we can work together. But if not, if you feel like, okay, I can do this in-house, then start off with one or start off with two and build a goal around it. So maybe saying, okay, for the first 6 months, I'm going to explore Facebook and see maybe how this can help. Maybe doing a combination of some paid sponsored ads, as well as some traditional, green posting as well, right? So maybe doing that, but then saying, okay, from there, I'm going to see about how we can maybe explore Instagram, and then going to an Instagram account, building that. And then with that, actually, you can do what we call like scheduling posts. Facebook and Instagram work together because they are around, unfortunately, they are owned by the same company, right? And so you have that kind of opportunity to be able to say, okay, I can go into my Facebook account, I can schedule a post that will post on Facebook, but oh, look, it will also post on Instagram as well. And so you could do that too. So then from there, once you figure out a cadence and you are like, okay, now I'm getting the groove and I'm kind of being able to manage this, then you also try to explore other options as well. I mean, it's so much about social media. It's growing like so much. There are new platforms that are out there. One of my favorites right now is Clubhouse. I love Clubhouse because it's like, picture a podcast, but going live. And it's just basically an audio platform, but you're able to connect with so many people from all over the world. And, you have a platform where people will host a Clubhouse room, and it may be a particular topic, whether that be, how to secure new clients or, how to increase revenue in your business. And then you can ask questions, or if you are an expert in your area, you can be invited to come up on what they call a stage and be able to interact with those hosts as well. I love Clubhouse for that because you never know who you're going to run into. And actually, funny enough, a friend of mine, her and I actually host a Clubhouse event on Thursday nights where we talk about Married at First Sight. And it was just one of those things where we just wanted to start having a conversation about it. And we were watching the show. And now last week, we actually had over 30 people in our Clubhouse room talking about Married at First Sight. And there were a few people that were from like the Atlanta area. There were people from the Florida area, from California. Never met these people in my life, but we all have this connection to Married at First Sight, we all were talking and we built kind of a virtual friendship through Clubhouse. So those are things that, you can really be exploring with social media, really being engaged with it, both on on a business level and also on a personal level that could also build into those business relationships that you're looking for.
I love the fact that you're dropping so much knowledge in such a short period of time, but it does seem like a lot. I almost feel a little overwhelmed. So help me scale it back. You said I can have a website, I can pick one or two social media sites that I know how to work with. Talk to us about content, because that's got to be the thing that really makes all these mechanisms go and bring business into us, right? Tell us
Yes.
about the content that we should design.
Yes, absolutely. Great question. So, some of the things that I want to share with you about social trends for 2021. So, like I was mentioning earlier in our discussion, videos are not going anywhere. Videos are really going to actually be strengthened this year because people love video content. You can repurpose it, you can, keep it on your platform for, on your social media channels for life. You could do so much with video content, right? And so really making sure that you really dive into that, whether that be shorter videos. So really using those videos to be able to sell your product by, even if it's a 30-second video that you're wanting to put together, right? But being creative with it. So that's where we go back to these TikTok videos or even doing memes, right? So memes are a big thing. People love them, being able to do that. Using Instagram stories as well. So you can use stickers on there where you're maybe counting down to your next launch of your new product, or if you are hosting a virtual, open house or some type of, pampering party, for example, you can use those Instagram stories to be able to create that buzz and that excitement around that product or service that you are promoting. But then too, using what we call Instagram Reels, right? So you want to show like how if you're a baker, right? And you want to show how you create a cake. So you're going from the time where it's just you're starting off, you're getting the ingredients, you're putting the ingredients together, then you're baking it, and then you're putting the icing on it. And then you're showing, you can do a reel where it shows from start to finish the whole product and how you did that. And that actually will get you some great sales, and also it will increase, your brand presence on there as well. But then I also want to mention too, for social media trends this year, because of 2020 and the shift of social media and what has happened, humanize your brand, right? So they want to see who you are. So making sure that you show your face. I understand a lot of times people have anxiety about being on camera. They don't want to be seen. They feel like, oh, I just want to show my product. My product's going to sell itself. I don't have to show myself. Yes, you do. People want to see you. They want to see, who is this person? Who is this person making this product? Who is this person that has created, has saved my life or has helped me to accomplish something? They want to see that. So humanize your social media, as well as show your staff, show your team. If you have a team that's working with you, that is helping you, show them too. Show how they're engaged with your product or service. Show why they love your brand. Why are they working at your company? Like, what makes them feel like this is their family, away from family? You want to be able to humanize your brand. And so that is really important to keep in mind for your content as well. But then again, like I was mentioning, the inspiration, right? So really putting some thought into your content around that service. So if it's a candle, for example, so we all know we love candles. I know I love candles. Janine, you probably love candles too. Candles for me gives me that kind of, when I smell a great candle, it's like I just have like a breath of fresh air, right? And so being able to tell a story about that candle, how will it help you after a long day at work and you are tired? You want to come home, you want to light that nice candle up, have that nice aroma in your house. And how does that make someone feel? Does that calm them? Does that be able to give them, that sense of like, okay, it's been a rough day, but now I feel like this is home, this is comfort. How can you build that content into your product or service? How can you do that? But then, also in addition with that, again, like I was mentioning, in Instagram influencers rather. So really showing testimonials, really sharing the information, like sharing people's experiences with your product or service. So even if you don't have a brick and mortar and, people are buying online, you can ask if people are tagging you on social media, like, hey, I just used this product this evening. This was great. Repost that, reshare that. People love to see when people are using products, right? Not only is that free publicity for you, but that is also a great way for you to continue to build that clientele and also to build that, that person that's going to probably be, a lifelong supporter of your business because they see that you took time to, one, acknowledge them and to acknowledge that they did purchase something from you. And then you also reposted them. I love when businesses do that to me. And I'm like, they, even if I know that it might be their social media person, but the mere fact that they reposted or reshared what I posted out and tagged them on, I love that. And other people do too. And so that is also great content for you as well. But then I also wanted to mention too, for social media trends for 2021, carousel posts, right? Those are so big. So if you've never used carousels posts, what it is basically is you are able to put multiple images and or, you can put multiple imageries all in one post. So you can do up to about 6 of them, but usually it's about 6 to 8. So with that, it's more, you can add more details, more insights, right? So if you want to educate people on, why it's important that your product does this or what's in your product, you can do a carousel of what's in your product and how is it if it's one of those products where it's bio-free, or if it's a product that is recyclable, or if it's earth friendly, you can put that information in a carousel in graphics, and then you can add that to your social media. People love to be able to just swipe through and be able to read something really quick. You can also add videos to that. You can add, a combination of photos as well. But that's also a very big trend. It started about in 2019, and it has since grown a lot, especially for brands as well.
So it seems like a business owner should have no lack of content between their product, their service, their brand, sharing personal stories and being conversational, and even user-generated content. I think that's kind of the buzzword around some of the things you talked about and sharing reviews.
Mm-hmm.
How often should we keep this pace up in terms of posting on social media?
Sure. So great question. So that is what is the challenge for a lot of business owners. So if you are a business owner that does everything in your business, so you are the marketer, you are the owner, you are the creator, you are the admin person, you are the fiscal person, you are everything to your business, right? So it's just you and you are trying to get your brand off the ground. It can be very challenging. And a lot of times, because of the algorithm of social media, you really do have to have a presence on there all the time. And if you could, in a perfect world, I would say, you need to be posting 2 to 3 times a day, every day, right? Because you never know like how the algorithm is working. And someone may not see your post that you posted on Monday and today's Thursday. And if you haven't posted on Tuesday or Wednesday, then your post that you did on Monday is long gone. It is down at the bottom, and that person might not even see your information until a week from now, which can really harm you, because if you had a big announcement that you wanted to share out, someone may have missed it and not been able to see it. And then boom, you are wondering like, well, what happened? Why didn't I have the turnout that I wanted to? Or why didn't I have, people coming to my website like I thought they would? I did post on Monday and it's Thursday, but it's like, no, you needed to post more often, more frequent. The thing I would say is really, if you are the only person in your business and you are trying to do everything, really think about how to best utilize your time with social media. So utilizing a social media scheduling tool. So like a Meet Edgar or a Buffer or a Hootsuite. I'm definitely willing to talk to you about some of those scheduling tools on which ones are good, which ones are kind of okay. They do have a price tag with them depending on what it is. But those are those tools that can really help you to be able to manage your time wisely with social media. But I will say this, even though you may use a scheduling tool for your social media, you still need to find time to actually really go on there, look to see what people are doing, look to see like what your other competitors are doing. How are they engaging on social media? Really looking at ways that you can be more creative with your post. You don't want to get comfortable with a scheduling tool, because if you do, then you're going to miss out on other opportunities through social media. You want to be able to still make sure that you are engaging, taking that time, whether that be, a day that, if you are a Saturday or Sunday when after hours and you're just sitting there and you're maybe just trying to catch your breath and you're watching TV, or you're maybe just resting and you just scroll through social media, even if you take like an hour to do that, that would be so worthwhile for you. Again, and if you don't have the time to do that and you don't have time to do a scheduling tool, I would definitely highly recommend you invest in getting an agency or a marketing freelancer to help you. It's very important that more than ever, social media is staying around. It is just going to continue to grow. There's going to just continue to have new platforms that you're going to have to explore. And you're not going to have time to be able to look at every single platform to see what is best fit for your business. So I would definitely say, if you are going to invest in anything, invest in marketing, because that marketing and PR, because that is going to help you thrive. And it's going to be able to help you strengthen your brand through digital marketing.
Facts, facts, facts. I can't emphasize that enough. There's a saying out there I heard from a marketing professional that the investment you spend on your marketing is the value you place on your business.
Yes.
How about that one?
Yes. That is so true. And I always say this, people, business professionals, they always just want to get their product out there immediately, right? And it's great. And you're really excited about it. And, your family and friends are really excited for you too. And they're wanting to, help you. But then that fizzles. And it's like, where do I go next? What's next? And that's where then you're like, scrambling to get on social media, and you're trying to hurry up and keep that same buzz that you had when you first launched that first product of yours. I would say definitely, if you are just getting into starting your business and you are still looking at, what are the best platforms for you, talk to someone, talk to a marketer that will be able to help you, because you want to start it off from the beginning. And even if you are a seasoned business owner and you are just getting into social media, definitely you want to look at what are the ways that you can best utilize social media now, because it's just going to continue to elevate your business and be able to increase that brand awareness.
I've got 2 questions remaining for you, Krisha.
Yeah.
The first one is, the pandemic has changed the way that we process information, we interact with one another, and make buying decisions. What are some helpful things that an entrepreneur can do to kind of be inclusive of what has happened and how people have changed as a result of the pandemic? Are there some keywords or there's some things that we should consider?
Yes, absolutely. So I would definitely say, with the keywords, you want to be inclusive, right? I I can't stress that enough, how much you need to be inclusive. Making sure that you use those keywords like you, we, us, as well as just making sure that you are just just making sure that with social media too, that you're making sure that you not only do that, but you're also making sure that you include, as well as like I was mentioning, hashtags. So looking at those hashtags, exploring those. I actually use a tool that I use. Is called Hashtag, and it's very simple. What you can do is you can put in there keywords, right, that will be able to help you learn about your business and who is actually attaching to that business. And that will actually help you to see what hashtags you should be able to connect with your product or brand. I always say that it's okay to be able to actually have your own personal hashtags, but you also want to be inclusive to the overall audience. So you want to look at some hashtags that you can incorporate in there as well. So not only if you're looking at locally, so like, for example, we're in Columbus, Ohio. So I would always use like Columbus OH or 614. And depending on what that product or service is, you can also look at adding some additional layers of hashtags as well to that. So you just want to make sure you definitely play around with that. I would also say too, if you have time, look in those hashtags, look to see what people are saying. How are they communicating to, people in that space? Sometimes some hashtags are not appropriate for others. So just looking at that too. And then lastly, just again, taking a look and seeing what people are saying on social media. So for example, if this is Women's History Month, right? So you want to go with the trends on what is happening, the themes that are happening for the month. So it's Women's History Month. So a lot of brands and products are being focused around women, right? And so really looking at that and seeing, okay, how can I attach my brand or service to that theme? How can I get more women to buy my product or service? We know women are the number one buyers, and we are the ones that are the influencers to products and brands, right? We can get our husbands, our children, other family members to want to invest in this. So really looking at that. Or even, for example, last month with Black History Month, a lot of products or services were geared towards, Blacks, and they were showing, this is how we're inclusive to, African Americans. So, looking at those trends as well are helpful. If you Google themed calendars, it will come up and it will tell you the dates of certain things, or, that month is focused on this, that will also help you as well to build up great content and to even stay in touch with the community, the broader community as well.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. All right, I want to go back to the top of our conversation and unpack the analytics, right? And I'm big on that in terms of trying to understand how my marketing dollars are converting into sales and how the back office analytics can help me understand that. Can you help us with that piece?
So great question. And analytics is one of those things that, can really get someone, if you don't understand it or quite know how to unwrap it. It's something that really, it can, one, help you with knowing what content has been strong and what content isn't. And then also looking at also kind of forecasting ahead and seeing, okay, when are the best times for me to post my content? Or, what days of the week are really good? What days people are really looking at my brand? In addition, if you are looking at maybe doing some sponsored paid ads, that can actually help a lot with your analytics. What I would say is this, because analytics can be really tricky for someone who doesn't really want to take a deeper dive into it. I would say on your social media pages, especially I'm going to take, for example, Facebook. So Facebook, for example, if you are going to add a video to your page, right, it will tell you the views, like how many views you had. You can take a look at that, and you can also look at how many people have shared it out. You can also look at how many people liked it. That information can tell you that, okay, this video worked, this content was working for, my brand. Or if you're looking at posting a photo, and you do that and you post that on there, you can go onto the back end of Facebook and look to see how many people actually are liking it or viewing it, you can do that as well. But I would say really looking at your page and looking to see like the time, because it will tell you how many people viewed it, even if someone didn't like it per se. So say, for example, you don't have any likes on it. You can still look to see how many people viewed it. That actually helps you as well with the analytics. But in addition, I meant to mention too, on Instagram, the one thing that you do want people to do with your content is save it. Saving it is actually better than someone liking it. And here's why. So for example, I love if I see a product, if I see someone wearing a cute business suit, right? Or I see an influencer that is advertising a restaurant that is, you know, is local here in the city. I will actually save that post and put it on my page. It's not particularly visible to everyone. It's only visible to myself, but I can put it in what we call these buckets, and I'm just saving things. So I have a fashion bucket. I have a books bucket. So any books that I need to read, I have a, actually, because my husband and I are into plants right now. So I have a plants bucket. I have a things I want to buy bucket. So things I want to buy from at home or IKEA or Home Goods. I have that in that app bucket, and I can go back to that and actually pull that. And guess what? Every time I pull it, that actually shows in someone's algorithm that, hey, she saved it and she's looking at it, and I can also still reshare it on my page, right? So that also gives that brand the additional, you know, leverage that they need in order to sell with selling their product or service. So even though you may want people to like your stuff all the time, it just depends on what platform it is, if they're reposting or resharing it. On TikTok, the golden thing is if you create a video and you post it on your TikTok account, someone can actually, if you, depending on your settings, someone can actually download that video and they can reshare it onto their Instagram account, their Facebook, their Twitter. They can share it on even their, you know, any other platform, social media platform. And then that gets you other people coming to your TikTok page that wants to watch your other content or, you know, follow you. So it just all depends on what platform you are on, that will be able to help you with that. But, you know, again, like I said, you know, you definitely want to be able to utilize those tools, because that will just continue to keep your brand, you know, really relevant, and will also keep your brand out there on the algorithm as well.
Okay, so I told a fib. I have another question. And this question is around boosting Facebook and the cost to do so.
Okay.
People are saying it's really expensive. Can you talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, sure, absolutely. And that's a great question too. So with boosting on Facebook, it depends, right? So Facebook will tell you, so if you have a budget of how much you want to spend a month on boosting ads, right? Or boosting your product or service. So I always say that you don't want to go low on boosting. So you don't want to do like a $10 a month or $20 a month. And you also don't want to do just a couple weeks, right? You want to do it in a long-term sense, because you're not going to get any value out of it. Again, because it has to run against the algorithm, it runs against your organic posts, and then also there's a lot of layers to it, for the reason why you want to make sure that you are best utilizing boosting. So if you have a product or service that you are wanting to advertise, right? And you're saying, okay, I want to boost that. Look at it from a long-term sense. So you actually want to look at possibly boosting it for, I would say, 30 days or more. So you want to put at least $50 into that. But you're going to get a lot of views out of that, and you're going to get a lot of hits. And Facebook is going to look to see when are the best optimum times to be able to make sure your boost is located into the algorithm and on people's posts. You also want to, too, the secret is you don't want to always necessarily just boost it to just your followers. You want to boost it, you want to do sponsored and boost ads to your followers and your followers' followers, because you want to get those new followers, those people that may not have seen your post on your followers page. You want to get their followers as well. So make sure that you are best utilizing paying those sponsored ads. I wouldn't say you have to go over $50, $60. Some people they will do like $100, they'll do $200. But what I would say is make sure you're doing it for a long period of time so you can get the best bang out of your buck. So you want to make sure that you are not only boosting it for 30 days or more, but if you're going to put $100 in there, then make sure that you're doing that. I would say if someone's going to tell me, my client's going to tell me, hey, I want to use $100 to boost this product or service, I'm going to do it for at least 45 days or more, because I know then that they're going to get the most, and I can report back to them and say, okay, we had this amount of views to your post. We had this amount of people that then went to your website to look at that product. And from there, then we can look at the back end of your e-commerce and see how many people then purchase from there. So you also want to make sure too, you have a call to action with the boosting. You don't want to just boost just to be boosting, but you want to make sure there's a call to action. Where do you want them to go next? Do you want them to go to your e-commerce shop? Do you want them to go to your website? Or are you just boosting because you want to get more followers to your social media page? That's fine too, but you want to make sure that when you do that, if you're going to do that way, where you're only having people just boosting to get extra followers on your social media account, that you're also doing some organic posts that keeps them there. Because if not, it's not going to be worth it. So it's all a game with social media, and you got to make sure that you have your layers in place so that you can make sure you get the best bang out of your buck for boosting and sponsoring posts.
Well, girl, you just brought the fire today. I so appreciate you and all of your knowledge and your energy towards, using social media to building your business. And I can certainly see where we would need to do this again and again to help our entrepreneurs really understand the power of the impact of social media. Do you want to have any parting words before we close down tonight, Krisha?
Yes, absolutely. Thank you so much to you, Janine, and to the MBAC family for just allowing me to have this opportunity to be able to share some best practices around social media. I know I had a little snafu earlier with my computer. Lord, that's the things that happen, right? But it's okay. It's okay. But definitely, if you want to get a hold of me, please make sure to, I'm definitely on all social media platforms as Convey Social. In addition, you can email me at conveysocial@gmail.com if you are looking to, wanting someone to kind of take a look at your social media, kind of do an audit. That's one of the things that I do really emphasize to business professionals as well, is have an audit on your social media once in a while. Have someone else take a look at your social media, take a look at your content, take a look at what you're doing, your engagement, taking a look at, is your social media working for you? And are you doing the right things in order to, one, gain new clients, two, maintain the clients that you have, and three, make sure you're selling the products and services that you do have, right? So you want to make sure of that. So we do auditing. Convey Social does do auditing of social media platforms. We do a full report. We would give that to you, give you some best, recommendations on what you should do to increase those things in those areas. And then, if you are wanting to look at further saying, okay, well, guess what? I'm done with working on social media. I need somebody else to do it. That's something else that you can think about as well. Having someone else manage your social media, be able to help you create content, because that's also a big thing. Being able to be that storyteller through your brand. Sometimes when you're in it too much, it's kind of harder for you to be able to tell that story. So you might need that outside help to be able to help you bring that content to kind of massage it and bring it together. So that is something else that we do as well. So definitely, if you want to get a hold of me, Convey Social on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, as well as, you can email me conveysocial@gmail.com. And thank you so much again.
Well, y'all heard it here first. Convey Social is where you need to go for all your social media needs. And you also need to visit, like, sign, and subscribe to MBAC's Facebook and LinkedIn pages as well. It's been a great time with you, Krisha. Everybody, I've enjoyed you tonight, and I will see you on next time. Thanks,
Yes.
everyone.
Bye.
Bye.